What's up, everybody? We're Real People Gaming. My name is Jen Yuchin.
I'm Dustin.
Tim. I go first. I'm next to him, so it makes sense. You know
We're alternated, so you think it would go back?
No, it makes sense the way I did it.
I like this.
He's ruining the entire video.
You ruin everything. I'm Joe. That's my name.
That's what I do.
Yep, I just Joe around.
Now, Tim, I know that you stream. Do you want to say your stream name?
It's Aries_TF.
We'll add that. He's been on another episode of our podcast before. We'll link that as well. Joe, do you stream at all, or
Not anymore.
do you have anything you'd like to plug, or you don't put out any content?
Clean cars.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So what's your business?
Detailing cars. It's on Instagram. It's JRs_auto_reconditioning, and then there's also a Facebook page. It's JRs Auto Reconditioning.
Cool. I've seen the work that he's done, and I'm gonna go there because I'm embarrassed to show you my car.
My car's probably way worse.
I don't know.
Do you remember the crash test dummy car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
pretty
my
much
car
that.
looks like
Right.
after the crash.
Yeah.
So, on the Real People Gaming podcast, we keep it super free form, and when we have guests on, we ask them what got them into gaming. Tim's already been on our podcast, so you can listen to that if you want to know how he got into gaming. But Joe's it's his very first time here, and it's our first podcast of 2020, so thank you so much.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
What
Thank
got
you for having me.
Thank you. It's been a long time coming. What got you into gaming? What was your first gaming experience?
The first thing I can remember is it was called Vectrex.
Yeah.
Vectrex. It was a TV, and it was like basically a TV with an attached
That was a console
controller. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it had a light
heard
pen.
of that.
And I don't even remember what the game was, but I remember playing this game called like Clean Sweep or something like that. I don't even remember what it looks like, but that's the first memory I have of playing any kind of video
Playing
game.
Clean Sweep on the Vectrex?
Yeah.
That's what got me into detailing.
I mean, that thing came out before I was even born, so.
Oh, how far gaming has come.
Yeah. I mean, I was born in the 90s. The thing came out in like 87, 85, something like that. And then, what was it? We had just regular NES, and then my cousin ended up giving me a Sega, which was like revolutionary for my entire childhood. Just all the Sonic games and Zombies Ate My Neighbors and shit, Streets of
Played
Rage.
that like 2 weeks ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors. It's like the hardest game ever.
It really is.
So
There's
good,
like
though.
99 levels in it.
Yeah, I thought there was like maybe
No,
like
it's-
20,
yeah.
and I was
I
like,
thought
oh,
I beat
dude, we got so far.
There's
Nope.
like 100.
I had
We're
false
just-
memories
we're
of
just
beating
that bad, I
game
guess,
as a
at the
kid.
game.
Yeah.
The game's just hard, man. The controls are laggy from it's a Sega game, you know?
I played it for the first time at a friend of mine's house. I think I was in 6th grade, and I had never heard of it before, and I was pretty into games, so I was surprised that I'd never heard of it before. I don't remember it being specifically hard, but we didn't play it for that long. I just remember like popping out to the backyard and fighting all the zombies off.
It just doesn't end. It's like Rampage. It just...
Yeah.
You can keep playing it, and the fun just kind of dilutes after a while.
Me and my cousin played Rampage for like 10 hours when I was a kid, and it's just never, and there's no end to the game.
Yeah.
That's such a fun game. We were at Yestercades recently.
Playing a recent Rampage.
Yeah, and it was cool.
Yeah.
Or they come out with a new one for the movie or something?
No, I was thinking the same
You're
thing.
like
too.
a
I was
lizard,
over
a
the
wolf,
time.
or a monkey, you just destroy cities
Oh,
and stuff.
duh, yeah, I
Yeah.
know what that is.
Yeah, it's like a newer, updated arcade
Didn't
version
the
that
movie
came
just
out.
come out about that?
Yeah, it's The Rock. Not to get on a tangent about it, it's very, very, very loosely based on the game. I haven't seen it yet, but from what I gathered from all the synopsis, like they genetically test like these like growth hormones. You correct me if you want to, or like some growth syrup on different animals.
Yeah, okay,
Typical,
yeah, I remember
typical
seeing
comic
the
book
preview.
Yeah, and it gets
video game.
Yeah, it's essentially like the
plot.
Godzilla King of Monsters, but with like
The
the
Rock.
Rampage characters in The Rock. Yeah.
Who here's watched the Rampage movie? I haven't. I don't know.
Nope.
My hands up. Not
I'm gonna watch it
one
tonight
person.
though.
No.
Or
No,
not.
we are gonna watch
Yeah.
it tonight.
Why
We
not?
thought about putting it on. I don't know if I could, even like as
Yeah.
a joke. I don't think I really
Oh,
could.
I love really crappy movies. It's one of my favorite things.
You're gonna have to watch
So do
it.
I. It's just I don't know, something like that. Just like it's like the Battleship movie. It's less crappy and more why. Why did this even happen? Like
Yeah,
who
it's
greenlit
not
this?
even so bad. It's funny.
Well, like the Rock movie, The Skyscraper, where he's just got one leg and has to climb this skyscraper to save his family. It's so
Never
ridiculous
heard of
and
that.
outlandish that it's just It's great.
The plot to these movies is come up with the title, and then we'll write around it.
Yeah.
Skyscraper, helicopter. Like San Andreas was one of them. About the San Andreas fall. It's like it's San Andreas. It's an earthquake or something. I don't know.
The go-to one's always
Yeah.
if you can't get an actor, just get The Rock. He'll do pretty much anything.
Honestly.
The Rock will do pretty much anything, and I kind of respect
I'll be in a
him
movie.
for that.
Yeah.
I'll do anything.
Nicolas Cage too. He's in everything,
Yo,
but
Nicolas
he's not
Cage
as
is
loved.
great. Oh yeah,
He's an amazing human
Nicolas
being.
Cage. You ever seen Vampire Diaries?
Vampire's Kiss.
Vampire's Kiss, yeah.
Great.
That's the go-to.
Con Air.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Con Air's sick.
I've never seen Con Air.
Come on.
I
It's
swear.
You gotta see
I've
it.
never even
Yeah.
heard of Con Air.
Really?
Yeah.
Another one of those movies where it's let's
Face
come up with
Off.
the name, and then we'll write around it. Face Off's the same thing. Like, Con Air, a convict on an airplane. Go. And they have a whole plot
Oh,
based
that's why
around
it's
it.
called Con Air.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like coming home on an airplane and gets like, yeah.
That's nice.
It's a movie about the Con Air hairdryer legacy.
Face Off is great. John Travolta is a cop, and Nicolas Cage is like this bad guy that in the beginning of the movie shoots his son, and then they switch faces.
But also Face Off, so it's
Yeah.
yeah.
What?
Yeah, they switch faces, so the actors basically
Like the hospital switches their faces?
like a like undercover CIA police thing switches their faces.
Yeah.
So John Travolta, who's the cop, can go into the prison and get information on this like. Dude,
This
it's
is what I'm saying. When
Not to
this
sound-
podcast
yeah.
does not even need a topic, it just flows.
It's
It's
not to
so
be
good.
insensitive. If you've actually
about the
seen,
games though. Talk about movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you've
I
actually
don't care,
seen
Face Off is
actual
great.
face transplants, it doesn't work that well.
No.
It's not like that.
no.
Yeah, you don't become Nicolas Cage or John Travolta. It's something else entirely.
Alright, moving on. How did we get to this? What was the last thing you did that was gaming related? In your past, what was it?
I had
You played Zombies
Sega,
Ate My Neighbors on
Yeah,
Sega.
that's yeah. So
and then I guess Rampage came up,
yeah.
and then it got on movies, and then what was it? My uncle's girlfriend bought him a PlayStation, like the original PlayStation.
Oh, so nice.
And he brought it over, and I played Virtual Fighter the entire time he was at my house. And then I got one for Christmas, and it
You
was
got a PlayStation for
yeah,
Christmas.
it was like Metal Gear Solid and what's the other game? It's on the mini one. I can't remember the name of it. Siphon Filter.
Yeah.
Dude, that game was awesome. I can't believe that they stopped. Like they don't make those still. You think that they would like make a remake or a new one, and they don't. That's the company's like out of business. I don't know.
Wow.
And then was it PlayStation 2 and Xbox, and then after Xbox I started having to buy my own system. So it was PlayStation 3, and then
Did you pretty much get every system since that? You've got almost every single one?
Yeah.
Because you own a ton of consoles.
yeah, I got the oldest one I have is Atari 2600, and then pretty much everything between that except for like a Intellivision. I don't even have a Veltrex, whatever.
Yeah, they're hard to come by now.
Yeah, they're like $500 to $700.
And if they go, they just go. That's
Yeah.
because it's a built-in TV. Once something goes in it,
just
you're
shot.
effed. Yeah.
So I got my Atari for like, I got my Atari 50 games and like all like 2 paddle controllers and 2 joystick controllers for $50 because the dude said it was broken, and then I just resoldered a new power switch and it works fine.
Did you know how to do that, or did you look it up?
I mean, I looked it up, but
Yeah. Have you like
just soldering stuff.
gone inside any of your other consoles and either fixed things or like
Yeah, I put new teeth on
them?
like the Super Nintendo because they start to get loose and shit
Is
after.
that the actual things on the games?
Like in the teeth in the system.
Depends,
Yeah.
He fixed my Final Fantasy 6 for me.
Just
There was a
Really?
battery.
Just
was-
change the battery in it.
Oh, get real.
Who knew they had batteries in those things?
Pokemon games have batteries in them.
Well, all
and
the
stuff.
old Nintendo games had batteries for saving, for the most part. Yeah, that's how they used to save back in the day.
I didn't know that until my game didn't save. I don't know why it just turned on.
If you get into fixing games or like knowing how to fix old consoles, it's a gold mine because there's so many consoles on there. Obviously, like a working SNES, Nintendo, $75, $100, roughly in that ballpark. But there's a lot of them. People are just selling, like you said, malfunction, no longer working. It's usually something like that. Either the pins have to be
stupid.
cleaned. Yeah.
Because we have a friend, James Reiner, and he posted today on Facebook that he's modding his GameCube, and I've never seen the inside of a GameCube before.
I've
It's
never
just,
taken
like,
apart a
super
GameCube.
fascinating.
Yeah.
I would
Love the GameCube.
Yeah, I've never taken
It's
it
an
apart
underrated
though.
system.
Yeah.
I really love the GameCube.
The controller, when I first got it, looked like an abomination, and then you play it for like 10 minutes, you're like, it fits perfectly in your hand.
Yep.
Worst controller is N64.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
I don't know what they were thinking with that one.
They're just trying to be innovative for whatever reason, and I don't think it worked
Look
out.
at the history of Nintendo's controllers, though, after SNES. They're all just like the most ridiculous molds ever.
Yeah.
N64 just it looks like a fucking spaceship. I remember, like, that was right about the time where I kind of put gaming on hold for a little while, and it was always my plan to get an N64. I sold all my SNES games and everything to buy the N64, but I was in like 6th or 7th grade, and I was just more concerned with, getting laid or deodorant. The important things for people in 7th grade. But yeah, we were trying to play it the other day at Yestergades, and it's just such an uncomfortable fit. Like, you never know where to grab on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, people would either do the middle. I would do the whole thing, but people would go on and
do the whole thing.
So weird.
Monster hands. No, you always hit the middle, and then because you never use the D-pad for any like the big games, you never really use the D-pad.
Yeah. Mm.
Like I think it was like taunting in Smash.
I remember when Xbox came out, they had that really big controller, and everyone complained about it.
Is that called
and got the
Duke?
small. I didn't mind it. Yeah, they just came out with a new version for Xbox One for it. But
yeah, that thing's huge. It's like
hey,
this big.
Pag Virgo, what up?
Yo, Pag Virgo.
I wonder who that actually is. I don't remember. They know me. What's up? What's up, Pag Virgo? PAG. Wonder what that stands for. I'm sorry. I got distracted by the chat. Or one chatter.
Yeah.
So, what are you playing right now?
Call of Duty mostly.
You're playing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence about buying it all the time.
Fucking awesome.
AKA, I'm going to buy it probably once I get paid. Because everybody keeps saying
It's
such
so
good
good.
things about it. And I just
We
miss
played-
a shooter. I miss being able to jump in, jump out when it's not Overwatch.
I put like 11 days into Blackout alone, like the Battle Royale for Call of Duty. And then I played this. I probably have like 5 days into this one. Like playtime 5 days. And we went back and tried playing Blackout like earlier this week. And me and Tim could not hit a shot to save our lives. It just feels... the new one just feels so much cleaner.
Like a joke. Guys sit still, but they even come
What
close
is the
to
new
him.
one? I'm sorry.
Just Modern Warfare. It's like a soft reboot of the Modern Warfare franchise. Like the campaign is. The campaign's great too. It's like just... the whole Modern Warfare storyline was just always great.
I haven't had a game in years since Doom that I was like obsessing over, like could not stop playing multiplayer, and this one, Call of Duty, which I never really get into Call of Duty that much, and I can't stop. Every day it's all I want to play.
The gunplay's just clean, and
it feels smooth.
great.
It's like, I always thought that Battlefield better than Call of Duty, and it has more of the Battlefield feel, more...
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's still broken shit in the game, but that's like any game that comes out. I feel like they're like, all right, we're done with the game. Let's release it. Anything's wrong, we're gonna patch it first day.
Yeah.
But like, there's still issues with it, like.
Well, I think it's the perfect time for them to come out with such a clean game, and I'm just thinking about this theory right now. But they called it Modern Warfare when they already had a Modern Warfare. I'm thinking that's because they're pushing the esports part of it so hard with the Call of Duty League that this might be the last Call of Duty, and they just might be like updating it. Like
no, Black Ops 5. I mean, Black Ops 5 is already like.
Well, my theory is just debunked.
Yeah, scratch that.
Honestly, it sounds.
No, they call it Modern Warfare because they tried to take all the old Modern Warfares and kind of make this one big thing.
Maps in there, some of
so
them?
yeah, so every time new maps come out, they keep putting old maps in, which is a good thing because the maps.
Yeah, but they should put maps that aren't like how many times have you played Crash? How many games have they rebooted Crash in? It's like the Nuketown.
They should put new stuff and old stuff. I think.
They should put some of the old maps that weren't
Nuketown's Black Ops stuff.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like with the Nuketown, how many times did they reboot that same map in every single game? It's like, why not just introduce one of like, why isn't Rust in there yet?
Yeah.
You put Shipment in there. I mean, I understand that it's probably super easy to put in there because it's a fucking square.
Shipment's like the only one I do remember.
And then they still fucked that up with the spawns. They had to fix the spawns and shit on it because it was just like people. I mean, it's still broken. People, you can literally just sit in the corner and then just people spawning right in front of you. Yeah,
that's what it's always been like that.
Yeah,
this is
in that
way
map,
worse.
Yeah. Sometimes you'd be like aiming and a guy would like spawn in front of you.
You're
like, no, not even on purpose. You'll just be shooting and the guy spawn in front of you.
I mean, I'm guilty of just sitting in that corner too. Like, what do you get? You can't run around that map.
I love that fucking map. I think it's like good practice. Everyone gets pissed like, oh, this fucking map sucks. It's like, why?
I think it's annoying. I still would drop like 70, 80 kills on it, but like still, it's fucking annoying.
Say 70, 80 kills.
Well,
Yeah,
that map, yeah, you're constantly just every time you spawn, it's like at least one kill.
Literally, like you can just sit in the corner and you watch an
hold the
entire
trigger
line
down, you'll
spawn,
still get
and
a
you'll
kill.
get like a 6 multi kill with just like holding down the trigger in one
What
clip.
would you change to make it better?
Make it a little bit bigger, just a little bit. Stop the sight lines. So where you do spawn, you don't have that sight line for your entire team spawning on it.
You could just spray them and knock like 3
seriously,
out.
yeah.
No, it's frustrating.
The Battle Royale is supposed to come out soon for that.
They never actually officially announced it though.
I'm sure it's gonna come.
They're not officially announcing it because they don't update it. Like they do soft patches on the game. They just extended season 1 for another 10 days because I guarantee they didn't say this, but I guarantee season 2 isn't ready. So who knows when. Like I was telling you like a week ago, I was like, if they're going to release a Battle Royale, it's probably going to be after season 1. Because the leaks and all the claims and everything online say it's early 2020. So like February, March-ish. And season 1 was supposed to end like in like 7 days from now.
But
now it's like 20 days.
If they come out with Battle Royale, that's gonna kill it.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be.
That's gonna be awesome.
Because
because all the big streamers all love the new COD.
Yeah,
and they're kind of you can tell they're kind of getting like bored of playing the multiplayer, and obviously viewers are like, all right, like we get it, but the Battle Royale, that's gonna kill it. I can't wait.
Well, they have the ground war. All the leaks are like there's like the big maps, and then there's the ground war maps where it's just like, what is it like 20v20 something like that, 15-15 or something like that. So it's like they're huge maps, and apparently the Battle Royale map's going to be all of the
ground war maps.
The ground war maps, and then there's special ops, which is like PvE shit, where it's like they're freaking huge. Like you have to use a quad to get to the other side of the map during like a PvE mission, and apparently that's going to be part of it too. And then someone I think like half a month ago, like spawned. They glitched when they spawned and spawned above the giant
you can look
map.
it up. Apparently that's the map.
Yeah.
But it's not like actually confirmed. But
like besides
that's
that,
wild.
There's really nothing new that came out. Like we've been playing Fortnite this week, and
What made you go back to Fortnite just to have
there's
fun?
nothing. Yeah, there's nothing.
I always talk shit in that game, but I love it.
It's a fun
I really
game.
do.
Everybody says the same thing.
I fucking love it, and I hate it so much.
Yeah.
One of the things I think we just talked about when we were preparing for our last video with the best games of the decade, like we all had kind of like disparaging things to say about Fortnite, but everybody agreed to it's probably one of the best games of the decade.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the most important games of the decade as far as being gateway
one of the
drug.
most profitable games.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a reason that game is number one still, because how they keep up with it, they always update it, and now they put in like modern culture in it all the time. Yeah. With like Star Wars and even that concert, having that concert in the game while it was real, like that's fucking wild.
They had the Avengers.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, well, wasn't the thing with Star Wars where like there was stuff that should have been in the new movie to advance the storyline was actually just in the Fortnite game? Like you had to actually
I didn't see the clip. Yeah. I only saw like the ship come down and then one got lightsabers, but I didn't see the movie clip.
They were saying like the big transmission. Spoiler alert. The big transmission from the Emperor was played over Fortnite, but wasn't actually in the movie. And they're like, why don't you put that in the movie? Like, not everybody plays Fortnite.
I didn't see that.
Apparently, I didn't see the new movie, but apparently there was like this whole scene that like made sense why the Emperor came back that they decided to cut.
There's a whole script that makes
sense. They should have never did that. That's a whole other topic to get into, though, but we're not going to. So I can go on. I fucking love Star Wars. I can go on forever how these new movies ruin that entire franchise, but...
Yeah.
And then... Yeah, that's Call of Duty. I've been playing a lot of Enter the Gungeon, but that's just...
that's just a fun game.
That's
I'm trying to beat Rage 2 still.
Yeah, I still gotta do that.
I just got Dragon Ball Z, which is phenomenal. You guys are Dragon Ball Z fans.
You buy the physical copy,
What's your
right?
favorite part?
I buy everything digitally. I don't buy the.
God damn it.
Why you want to borrow it?
Yeah.
Just beat Resident Evil 2 again on the other side when you play like what Leon's doing. Well,
Okay.
So who did you just play, Claire or Leon?
I just did Leon on
did Claire
the
first.
side B or whatever it's called. So all I have left now is beating it with Claire on the other side.
Nice.
I'm so amped for number 3. I'm so glad they did that.
Nemesis is going to be pretty good. I never got the opportunity to play it when it came out.
Really?
I think it was Genesis only.
No, it was PS1.
Yeah, PlayStation 1.
PlayStation 1.
Not even for a little bit.
No.
I have it. You can borrow it.
Is that the one we were just talking about, right? We were talking about it the other day when we saw the. Is that the one they're
I
remaking?
thought it was on Genesis only when it came out. I was a lot younger.
No,
But
Resident Evil was always PS1 first.
Yeah.
that's the only one
It
I've
was all-
never played.
it's all
So I'm
Capcom.
excited to play
Yeah.
the new one. Because I haven't played. It's the
I
only
don't think
Resident Evil game I haven't
Capcom
played.
was Capcom even on Sega. Because I know
That game definitely
all
was
the
on
Mega Mans and
Genesis.
There was a
everything
big
were
thing with
So
that
was
where,
Resident
yeah,
Evil 2.
the
Resident
Wily
Evil 2
Wars
was on
came out,
Yeah.
which is pretty much a re-release of the, I believe the second game. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I never really played it. It's on the mini console, but yeah, I mean there was a big thing with Capcom having allegiance with Nintendo for a long time,
and then
people got pissed
Yeah.
when I went over to Sega, because I mean a lot of the exclusive content.
All the
was
Mega Mans were on Super Nintendo.
yeah,
Nintendo, Super Nintendo. Like I mean, they licensed some stuff out to because you had to back in the day. You had people that were strictly computer gamers. It was really horrible looking, horrible laggy playing versions of Mega Man 2 and 1 on the PCs. But
Mega Man X is, in my opinion, one of, especially the time it came out, one of the most revolutionary games.
Yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
I still play that game. I just bought the remastered 1 through 9 or whatever on PS4.
Yeah. So I mean, I can't. Something about not playing it on a Super Nintendo or Nintendo controller really just
yeah, I tried that.
It's
weird. It's easier on the Nintendo controller actually to play those kind of games.
Controller. Every game that comes out now is just shoving tutorials and what you're supposed to do and you're down your throat.
Yeah.
Just
Instead of just letting you experience it.
yeah, you can't play it's constant HUD option. Follow this person, do this, make sure you do that, make sure you do this, follow the map, do this. To breathe to keep on living, you got to make sure you keep eating, drink water, stay hydrated.
Call your
when
mother.
Mega Man X, there was no tutorial, there was nothing. You just played the game and you learned it by playing it.
Especially the early Mega Man games, like Mega Man 1 and 2. I stopped playing the Mega Man games probably around 3 or 4.
It started getting repetitive.
It started getting repetitive, but also the enemies, I understand it was a joke, but it was Scissor Man,
everything was man. There was no thought process.
Cut Man.
Yeah.
Cut Man. Fuck.
I was after a while they ran out of that's why I always liked what they did with Mega Man X. Yeah. The fact that Mega Man X just went to animals, there's a million animals for them to use.
It's
the fact that you can you had to actually know a certain order to beat the bosses.
Yeah, because you can use their weapons against them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, unless you watched back when I was a kid, you had Nintendo Power and I'm forgetting the name of it because it's been 1,000 years, but there was a TV show that used to come on before I went to school that was gave gaming tips and had a game show where you answered gaming questions. Those were the only ways that you could really figure anything out.
There was no online.
Yeah.
There was no. It was all word of mouth too, going to school and
your brother had brother had a friend that knew how to do something, so he kind of
you got to find me underneath that truck in front of the SSN.
But
I just realized our stream says it's until dawn.
Nice.
Perfect. Keep it up.
Going all night, baby.
24 hours. Get all the guests we can.
It's a game.
But yeah, no, I agree because I think that was the you said the Legacy Collection for PlayStation. We tried downloading it. It just feels clumsy on the controller.
It's just I tried playing the Sonics on Xbox. I think it was a 360. They released a Sega Classic collection.
Yeah.
I tried playing because I loved all the Sonics growing up. I 100%ed Sonic Mania 4 days after it came out, and trying to play it with an Xbox controller was just and then but for some reason playing Mania felt right. It was because when you push down on a Sega controller, there's that give in it before it starts working, and I guess that kind of feels okay, it's because it takes a second for like say Sonic to start running, so you feel like that kind of gives you is the reason. But then you're on a PlayStation controller, you're holding it down, you're like the dude's not moving. But then you play Mania and it's just because it's an updated like brand new game based on that is just like smoother. I don't know.
Yeah, what's fun? We already did our video on the Sega Genesis Mini, so not to tread old territory, but they had all the old. I don't know if you remember like the at-game consoles. They would sell them like Staples. They were essentially the same thing as like a Atari Flashback, like cheap remakes of the console. This official one though, that is one of the things I do appreciate about it. Is the actual buttons have the same feel to them, the same like tactile, like the buttons click, just like you said, that little bit of give. The weight to the buttons, it's familiar territory.
I got the like knockoff Sega one from like a Rite Aid like years ago that you can actually put the game in and stuff and plug the original Genesis controller into it, and it came with this like wireless.
It was infrared. It wasn't even wireless.
Yeah, crap controller that like since my hand the controller's like this big, so like my hands would wrap around it and it would just block the sensor, so it just would stop working.
It's just funny how like it's ingrained in you if you played something for so long, like.
Just muscle memory.
Yeah, like picking up the old Sega, because I wasn't really a big Sega kid, but I had played it when I was a kid, and picking up the old controller, I'm like, oh, that's where you've been. All right, I remember this.
Yeah.
And like the SNES Mini, the same thing. Like the controllers feel exactly the same as the original controllers. Same tension, everything to the buttons, and you just remember it.
Like all of that, I have controllers. Like my first Nintendo 64 controller, I can't use it anymore because the joystick's just wobbly. Like I take apart and fix it, but I have like 6 other controllers, so it's kind of freaking pointless at this point. But I had that thing since that was the one that came with the Nintendo 64. Yeah. I've gone through like 15 Xbox controllers.
Yeah.
Like they just break. Everything just breaks.
The Elite controllers are shit.
Yeah, they are. They're very flimsy. Like, when I worked at Microsoft, people would bring them back in all of the time, and we would just straight up swap them out because we knew that that was like such a huge issue.
So I can just bring my Elite controller and just be like...
Dude, I went to her work when she, like, quit, and I, like, argued with the guy. I was like, I bought this here, and it's broke. And he was like, where's the receipt? Be in your email. I'm like, I don't know. They finally was like, all right, here.
Yeah, they just swap it.
Because, like, I started getting stick drift now, which happens on all of my left sticks. And then... the hair trigger just broke on it, and I don't have money for a new freaking Elite controller, so I bought those. Yeah,
just go to the store, any of them, and they usually swap.
What's the hype around that new one?
Just that they fix a lot of the issues. I don't know.
What issues though?
Like the stick drift and things like that. Like and it's just more sturdy and durable.
Hey, we know that was a problem, so buy this new one.
Yeah, for real. I don't know that they switched. Many other things. I think it's just an updated version. They might have added more like macros.
I know you can do 3 settings instead of 2 as far as like.
Okay.
And apparently the triggers, you like change the back of it so it makes it press down much. Now there's 2 of those
trigger stops.
Oh yeah. So it's just like added functionality.
That's what instead of buying a new Elite controller, I bought these like $18 like grips you put on the back of an Xbox controller that make them hair triggers, and I'm like, fuck it.
After using it, I mean. The thing does suck as far as breaking, but as far as when it actually works, though, I love it. I can't play that without it now.
Yeah, George says like there's nothing that beats it.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't afford a new one. So it's the new one's like, it was just on sale for $175.
Yeah, it's too much.
I'm like,
it's a lot.
It's too much.
I'm like, the new system's supposed to come out in December. I was like, I'd rather take that $200 and put it in my top drawer for when the system keep adding to that instead of buying a new controller that might not even work with the new system. Who knows? It might not, but like it's not worth it for me. That's why I was like, I'll spend the $18 and just if those break, then I'll spend another $18.
I think I saw the new Elite controller is supposed to be the default controller to the new Xbox. So when you get the new Xbox, I think you get that.
That would make
sense.
Get one. I just like I'm so over it, like, and I have such a love for consoles and gaming in general, but like, I just feel like I don't care about a new system. I feel like, I'm sure everybody else feels like that as well, but I don't want to buy another one, especially since I have like a PC now. I never play games.
That's the problem though. The PC is getting more, like,
mainstream.
Yeah, especially because of Fortnite. But if you think about it, like, you can go out and buy a PC for, say, $600, you do a build, and it's still going to be better than the new console coming out.
Yeah.
Like,
and then what you
spend
an extra
they have this whole
$300
they have these whole
like
they talk about like, oh, to do this and that, and it's like, no, it's not. Like, PC is still shitting on it. Yeah. Like, why can't you guys compete with that?
I think the new one
because you can just keep upgrade. You can just keep putting new parts in that.
Absolutely, yeah.
When like okay, Xbox, Microsoft, Sony, you want to compete with that market, then like in a year come out, oh, you buy this $200 new processor and it's instead of trying to make a whole new system. Because like I have a 1X and like I love it. It's way faster than the one. Yeah. But
do you think it's worth it?
No, I bought it when I was drunk. So I was like,
what, the console?
The 1X.
That's funny.
Well, I bought it because I needed a new Xbox.
And I was playing PUBG.
As far as like the games, I definitely see a difference with the games.
Yeah. It definitely looks a lot better. It definitely feels a lot better. It's definitely faster. But it's like, you know, I bought a new console of the same generation console when like, okay, it's a new processor.
And they're coming out with a new console so soon after. Yeah. It's like 3 years after.
When like
what a dick.
Like if it's new processor, why don't you sell the processor? Why don't you make it like where you can snap this out and snap this in, and then you can sell that for $100, $200, and then people will buy that more than the 1X.
Yeah.
You know, or a, you know, like I mean, the PlayStation and Xbox, you can plug in a USB like hard drive and it works, but like it was compared to the Xbox, replacing the internal hard drive on the PlayStation is 1,000 times easier.
Is it?
It's just a freaking nightmare on the
Do you have the PlayStation
Xbox.
Pro?
Yeah. I used to drink a lot. Just buy stuff.
Did you also buy that when you invested?
No, I bought that one. I got paid and went to the mall and bought a Pro, and then I was like, why'd I buy this? I don't have a 4K TV, so I went to Target and bought a 4K TV.
That's what they want
makes
people
sense.
to do,
Yes,
though.
vertical integration.
That's what they want them to do, yeah.
I definitely realized the difference with the X, but the startup, mine fucking takes forever to fucking start up though, and I can't. The PS4 is like on. Xbox One X, it's like it says the green Xbox screen for like 2 minutes. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Because the PlayStation goes into rest mode, the Xbox you probably just turn off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just got a hard. It's like hard resetting it pretty much.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but I feel like it's honestly like if these gaming companies want to like skirt around burnout from the customers and like push back from the customers, they're gonna have to either, like you said, obviously everybody's trying to compete with the PC. Go mobile or do what Sega did and just start licensing your stuff out to PC companies. Yeah. Honestly.
I mean, I appreciate PC. I play it with. We play Destiny on there.
Yeah.
But I cannot for the life of me use a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, I'm not that good at it either.
I just can't.
Which really annoys me because I know like I'm decent at shooters, so when I do really bad with the mouse and keyboard, I get very pissed.
Yeah.
I'm like,
so like,
I get that guy with a controller.
Mouse and keyboard so far with like MOBAs or Overwatch. I haven't tried to play any hardcore shooters. I played Fortnite on the PC.
It was such garbage on Overwatch with mouse and keyboard, and then like.
So was I.
Like
I got better on mouse keyboard on Overwatch.
I had practice
I switched off my buttons to my mouse.
That's what I did too.
I only do my directional with my keyboard.
That's what I did too. I still lose my finger placement and shit on it. But like when we play Destiny, when we'll play Crucible on PC with like a bunch of our friends, it's usually like not every time, but like me or him are towards the top in the game, not just on our team, and me and him are using controllers. And it's like...
Well, people say controller's better for Fortnite as well, because it's easier to build.
Yeah.
Like, less options.
Well, this is...
I don't know.
Destiny's a first-person shooter.
There's so much...
There's been constant...
There's so much, like, argument with that. People are like, say controller, but I don't know. I don't see how the mouse is not easier if you go with a mouse, because you're just constantly just hitting keys really easily. The controller gets... Sometimes it's a little weird, like... I don't know, explain it.
It's just not as fast physically.
Yeah, it's... The reaction time's slower. It's always been... You know, mouse and keyboard can outshoot a controller in first-person shooters. That's been like a known thing.
I mean, if you go up against somebody who's good with a mouse and keyboard against a guy who's good with a controller, the mouse and keyboard is usually going to get you every time.
Yeah.
But
well, it's like controller versus fight pad, like a fight stick.
I want a fight stick.
Like some people are so much better on controller. Like I watch Evo. Some people have controllers. Some people have fight sticks.
But it's the same thing though with Call of Duty too. I feel like it's always me and him at the top, and we're playing with mouse and keyboard guys. It's like that's why I laugh when our friends will like talk shit to me all the time, like, "Oh, you're using the controller." I'm like, yeah, and I'm fucking out killing you by 20+ kills.
Yeah.
So like, I don't get your fucking. What are you complaining about? But speaking of Call of Duty, by the way, the battle royale, the what did it say? When you die.
It's supposed to be 200 players.
You know how Apex has reboot,
the respawn
get
thing.
your card, and like I can bring you back in the
Apparently,
match.
when you die, if your like teammate gets your dog tags and like your squad's still in it, and like they go to respawn you, you're in the gulag is what it's called, and you have to you have to 1v1 somebody, and if you win, you revive.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
So that's a new thing they're gonna add, and they say it's gonna be 200 people. I see that being a fucking huge mess, especially with crossplay, and but we'll see.
This is also all speculation and leaks online and stuff. But I mean, there's a lot of data mining in it.
They leak it to see the reaction.
That's absolutely why.
It's like a giant test pool of like what people actually want. Opposite day. Cool.
So Tim's a pro Halo player.
Yeah.
He's the other one.
Honestly, every tournament you've been in that I've hosted, you won.
No, I lost against George.
Well,
the other pro Halo player.
He literally only plays that game.
Yeah.
I wish he was invited to our qualifiers, our online qualifiers. Him, this kid, like King Nick, and someone else. And George didn't show up. He went to every tournament before that and didn't show up to the qualifiers.
He doesn't need that affirmation.
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing, dude?
I don't do it for the prize.
I wish that tournament with me and him was just one-on-one.
Every time we're out, if Tim's standing remotely close to her, whether or not
whether
or not he knows them, if he's just like within like 10 feet of a girl, I'm like, yo, you know this kid's a pro Halo player, right?
Some girls might like that. I would.
No, none of them do.
Yeah, no, they look at us like we're...
I'm also really drunk at this point. I'm like, yeah, this is a pro Halo player. She's like,
oh, sick.
Get the fuck away from me.
1v1 me.
Yeah.
I used to put that in my Tinder profile.
What's that?
I put 1v1 me.
Wow.
Yo, meet me in Lockout.
That was fun times. Okay. Alright, so there's a lot of games that were pushed back. AKA, what's the word?
Delayed.
Delayed.
AKA.
They were pushed back. There's a lot of games that were delayed. What are those games?
Doom, Final Fantasy, Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
There's something else
the latest
too.
one, yeah.
I don't remember. Oh, Last of Us.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They announced that like 2-3 months ago though. But like within like the same like
Go barefoot, girl. I'm already wearing sandals.
in the same like 24-48 hour span, they announced that Final Fantasy and Cyberpunk were getting pushed back. I think it was the same day.
Are they saying it's developmental issues or anything? Because what I think is happening a lot with these games, like they're pushing them out so quickly, or at least pushing the announcements out just to hook people. Keep on top of this.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy remake. Did you guys say that?
Yeah.
That's being pushed to my birthday.
Oh, word.
There you go.
I've never really been huge into Final Fantasy. I just haven't. I just don't.
I love Final Fantasy.
I just don't.
7, 9, and
This is
10
our
are
final
still
conversation.
they're like masterpieces.
I just haven't been huge into it. I appreciate it. I can't do the turn-based system.
Yeah.
Like, I can't play any more of the Pokemons. It's the same thing over
I have
and
no
over
interest
again.
in Pokemon now. I used to love it when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's
I couldn't even tell you half the Pokemon's name anymore.
yeah, and they beat the horse Pokemon dead with a bat. Oh, it's just like the same shit over and over again. Mm-hmm. And then they tried mixing it up with Sun and Moon, so I was like, oh, I'll give it a try. And it's like, you got to fight the Kahuna boss. I'm like, dude, I'm done. Not to mention that in Sun and Moon there was so much fucking dialogue that it was just like, it was like as if the people playing Sun and Moon have never played let alone a Pokemon game before, but even have had a conversation with anybody in the outside world.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's just, I mean,
if they do 7 right, I guarantee that takes Game of the Year.
Oh yeah, I totally think that's going to happen.
Adam goes, I've played with Tim, not impressed.
Yeah, we aren't either.
Yeah, I think 7's going to be, if they do it the right, how the old one was, that's going to fucking kill it.
That's another, I haven't played 7. I only played like the first 5 hours of it, which seems like it would be a lot, but it's not.
It's
I got to like the town.
No, it's not. You played it?
Final Fantasy 7?
Yeah.
That was the last Final Fantasy I played all the way through. Yeah. I think that was when it first came out, so it's been a minute.
That was like one of the first PS1 games.
That's why I'm particularly excited for it, because I've never experienced it. So, like, I think that'll be fun to experience it for the first time through the remake. And then, like, someone like Dustin, we can even talk about it on video. Like, what are the differences? Me as a newbie,
Yeah,
how do I
I'm
like
playing.
it?
I'm trying to play
Is it old
7
school?
again now,
Yeah.
so I can try to see it.
So you can just
if
play
they
it
actually
again.
do a good.
Immediately after.
Yeah.
Well,
do a
they're
good
releasing
job
a new
remaking
one
it.
by chapters, aren't they? Like it's gonna
They say that, but I don't know if that's
I
true
don't
or
know.
not, because it doesn't say that. It literally says the entire game, just Final Fantasy VII. It doesn't say Chapter 1 or anything.
I was a scumbag, and it was this
They
kid.
said specifically they were going to do chapters, though.
I don't know. I don't know if that's still true though.
That'd be nice.
There was a kid that I went to school with that nobody really hung out with him much, and he grew up to be me. Now,
I was gonna say, was it me?
but I was saying it was definitely a pot calling the kettle black because nobody hung out with this kid, but he got Final Fantasy VII. So me and my buddy Sean went there every day after school to play it with him until we beat it, and then we just stopped hanging out with him. And now he's a cop, and he's massive. So
that's kind of makes sense.
I'm hoping.
I like to think we attribute it to that.
I'm hoping they let you play as more than just Cloud in the game.
As in who? Like any of your
Like other
party
characters.
members?
I hope they
just like
put
walk
that
around
in.
or
Just like just
fight
fighting
it?
in the combat, or like I just fucking swallowed wrong ice.
Yeah.
Like let you play as Tifa, like what Tifa did, like when he was over here, and even Sephiroth, like.
How do you think they would do that? How do you think they would implement that into the battle system? Do you think they'll bring back like a turn? What is it called?
No, so apparently the game has
Turn-style
turn-based, and it has
turn-based.
the new combat style. You can pick which one you want to do, which is pretty cool.
They're gonna have
That's
both.
cool.
They're gonna have a classic mode when you can do turn-based.
I'll do
Then
Yeah,
I'll probably
yeah,
play
yeah,
that
classic,
because I
yeah.
don't. The turn-based stuff, I'm just like, all right, attack. Oh, he missed. All right, attack. All right.
Yeah, but there was strategy behind it, especially when you fought bosses.
Yeah, but
shit.
how much of the same thing can you do over and over?
That's why I find it hard to get through sometimes older RPGs. Like, I'm having a really hard time getting through 9. I picked it up again recently, and I liked it more as I'm getting more into it, but it's just such a time sink where you're fighting the same monsters for so long. It's different.
That's the thing. I don't want to. I
I
play a video game to do stuff that I can't do. I don't want to sit there and tell this guy to go attack them. I want to take that big ass sword and fucking hit that monster with it.
If it was a good game, like, I never bothered me the turn-based.
Yeah, I'd be the first one to admit. I mean, I grew up loving RPGs, and it might be verboten and taboo, and you're not supposed to say it, but like that's also what pushed me away from a lot of RPGs too. Was a turn because after a while it does become a grind.
Yeah,
it's very repetitious. Depending though, there's certain RPGs and like
I'm not saying all of them.
Yeah.
I'm not just like lumping into a thing. I'm making a generalization here.
The hours that I
like,
put into Final Fantasy's training my guys, especially in 10.
Yeah.
I would spend like
There's a joke
an
in
entire
there.
Saturday, from morning to night, I would
Just grinding.
run around, just training my guy, which I never ever, like, I didn't hate it. It was kind of annoying sometimes, but
I did that
it
with
never
Final
bothered
Fantasy
me.
13. I spent like a month just grinding my characters straight up.
that wasn't even turn-based either, so.
No, yeah, but it was still a grind because it was random battle encounters.
I've gotten to the point with certain games where like with the RPG where I'll barrel through the game and get to a certain point. I'm like, oh, I'm not nearly strong enough. Then you have to spend the next 2 weeks like upping your characters again. So
that was definitely a thing in 9. You get to a point when if you weren't strong enough.
It doesn't make it difficult. It doesn't make the game more difficult. It just adds time to it, which gives the illusion of difficult.
That's exactly.
What's the difference between fighting through all these people to fight a boss, and then fighting through all these people not being able to beat the boss, and then fighting a bunch of people 4 fucking hours?
Yeah.
Like it's the same fucking thing. You're just going back and getting XP for beating slimes until you can fight the boss that you want to fight. I want to go fight this guy, but you're not strong enough. But I did the linear path. Oh man, I didn't rescue this cat from this tree for this old lady to get 500 experience. I didn't, go bake 7 loaves of bread for the baker because, he can't do his fucking job, so I have to do it for 600 XP so I can go slash this boss.
And speaking of, like, fighting styles, that's why I didn't like Kingdom Hearts 3. I felt like the battle system was extraordinarily repetitive. It was way too extravagant too easily. Like, you had, like, the special, like, theme park moves with, like, teacup fighting.
Yeah, I never used them because it was just like...
It was just too much.
The theme park thing I felt was just like a gimmick.
It's all
it was a commercial.
I felt like as you saw like go to WaltDisney.com and book your trip today.
Yeah.
There was a different layer of combat once you got the keys, with a bunch of different keys, and you could switch between them because there was different levels. Like how many combos you got, you can use your key to like get it to a point where you can upgrade it, and then once you not upgrade it, like
switch to the next
one.
Yeah.
Well, you get the one key to top tier where like you can transform it, and then you transform it and switch to another key and get that to the top tier and transform it. I think you could have 2 or 3. So you get them all the top tier transformed, and then you just go cycle through them, going back through using all the I don't know, and then adding the magic into it and stuff. That's why I liked it, because it was just like all right, you got to keep the combos up, so like, you know, and then the skills, what skills can you like knock an enemy into the air to add to your combo to boost the key to make it transformable. And then I don't know, I just like the storyline and everything, so that's like just one of those games. It's like a nostalgia thing. It's like I played the shit out of that game for, you know, when it first came out. So it's like, I want to see how this story ends type thing.
That's how 10-2 was for me. I hated that game.
Well, remember
but I had to
the
finish
beginning
it,
where you
though.
had to like give people balloons and the Moogle suit in 10-2?
That's what I'm talking about.
Boring,
just stupid
dude.
shit in a game.
I don't know.
It's
Final Fantasy X to me was like that game was incredible. And the first scene in 10-2, I was like, what the the fuck is
concert?
this? What the fuck are they playing right now?
Why is she a pop star and why doesn't anybody care? She went from summoner to pop star.
Yeah, I'm ignorant on this one. Was 10 the one with the sports ball? Whatever the hell it was called?
Blitzball.
Yeah.
What a like boring ass thing to do in that game.
I thought that was fun, Blitzball, but
Blitzball.
That makes sense.
Play some fucking Blitzball.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't. But that game was amazing.
You can tell that they were trying to.
9 though is still the best one. You gotta finish it.
9?
Yeah, I think 9's the best one.
I'm thinking about watching a speed run and just never playing it.
It's not gonna be the same.
Yeah.
I love watching speed runs.
Yeah, speed runs are they amp us up for anything. It's just always on in the background. It's amazing, like especially games done quick. Watching some of the shit. Like, I like.
Glitching.
Yeah, I love watching people just.
What was it? The two guys playing Punch Out blindfolded.
Yeah.
Using one controller.
It's insane. And a lot of them, if you like donate a certain amount, they do like blindfolded menuing, because they have to like rearrange their menu items a lot to like make it fast. It's also kind of like a hack in certain battle systems, but they'll do it blindfold sometimes, and I think
apparently somebody beat Halo 3 on Legendary with all the skulls on with the fucking Guitar Hero.
That's so
guitar,
fun.
which I don't know how you do that.
It's like
but
there's no way that happened.
Well, I was gonna say,
that's got to be like.
I've seen people use the drum pad for from Guitar Hero to play certain games. I'm like, oh, Donkey Kong Country too, the bongos.
That's just
no
cool.
Donkey Kong. What was that game called?
Donkey Konga.
Donkey Konga, yeah.
I would love to own that. I've never played it.
Yeah. I used to have the Kongas, but never actually owned the game.
I used to love Guitar Hero. I used to be so good at it.
We were talking about Rock Band. I was like, we need to buy Rock Band because we don't have it. That's a fun ass game.
It was a fun game.
They need to re-release that or something.
I told you, I used to have a blast. Somebody I was seeing years ago, the college she went to, like, she was in a Rock Band band. And they would perform. It sounds corny, but she was so good at, like, and I was impressed by it. Like, she was showing me video, like, of, like, just shredding on it. And she was, like, an expert at it. They had the drummer, the bass player, the singer, and the guitar player, and they had the screens in the background. And they would just play as, like, an actual band playing rock. And it was corny, but I was like, this is pretty fucking cool, though. It was fun. Neat. They would have parties over, like, almost as if they were having a house show.
I went with,
it's kind of lame as I say it out loud.
I think Guitar Hero.
It's so cool, though.
I think Guitar Hero is the reason why I got like carpal tunnel in my hand now.
I used to like be decent at Guitar Hero, and then I went to Dave & Buster's with Kevin like a month ago, and I played Guitar Hero there, and I was like, oh, I got this. I used to be so good. I thought I was going to die. My fingers, I couldn't even do it. I was missing every note, and I was like, what the fuck? I guess I'm just old, but like, I don't know. I could not do it at all.
I went through the same experience, but I think it was I Play America.
Yeah.
I was trying to play it, and I was like, this is the hardest thing I've ever done. My hands hurt so bad.
What was funny about that game when it came out, I think South Park even did an episode about it, where like, I sucked at it, but I'd been playing music since I'm 8, and like, I remember my niece being like, thought you said you were good at guitar. And there was a lot of that shit that was happening. Like, thought you said you were a fucking musician. Like, it's not the same thing. It's not nearly the same thing.
Rocksmith.
My mom was really big into Rock Band. She would love to like play the drums on easy while we played and stuff. So she bought all of the Rock Band shit all the time. And then the Guitar Hero came out. Guitar Hero Guitar came out, where each string and fret is a button.
Yeah.
And like you actually there's
was
it no it was a Guitar Hero controller.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Where like each string and fret had a button, and then there was strings. Never touched it.
Yeah.
Could not do that for the life of me. Give me 4 or 5 buttons and a toggle switch, and I'm good.
We saw it was funny. We were at Goodwill in like the Asbury area and saw the Beatles Rock Band there, and I'm like, it was like $1, but I remember it's like I remember
really
like at the Goodwill, but I was like I remember what a big fucking deal this was when this came out. That was massive.
They licensed it.
Me and Corey wanted to get Guitar Hero.
The actual like Rickenbacker or the Hofner bass version.
It's $80 for a guitar.
That makes sense.
I have like 10 of them.
I used to have all that shit, and I don't know where.
I got a
the newest PlayStation 2 in my house.
The newest Guitar Hero that came out. Instead of the 5 buttons, there's black and white, and still the 5 buttons, but split into 10 buttons by the half. So you got the upper frets and lower frets. And I bought that at GameStop for like, I think it was like $30 for the 2 guitars in the guitar, the game.
That's the one thing. Any Goodwill you go to, any thrift shop, you're guaranteed to see a Rock Band drum set,
a PlayStation 2 Guitar Hero.
A couple Guitar Hero guitars laying around just in the toy section. Just pick them up.
I'll have to try to check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to play.
When's the last time they've made one? That's got to be because Rocksmith I've heard of, but Rocksmith's another one too that like.
I don't think they made it since PlayStation 3.
Rocksmith, you plug an actual guitar into it.
Yeah, I remember that. And it was supposed to be like a trainer, almost like the I forgot what it was called. They had something on Nintendo where it was in a piano that you actually played along with.
Sometimes we'll like troll on Twitch and just watch people play Twitch Sings. You guys ever do that? Watch Twitch Sings.
That's pretty phenomenal.
I've seen people do it, but I don't really.
Dude.
It is definitely interesting.
It's ridiculous.
Doesn't your girl sing? Car Crash?
Yeah.
I have a feeling we shouldn't express who this is on stream.
Well, her name's we call her Car Crash, so that's already enough.
That's your own personal name for her? You have to tell us after the podcast.
All right,
Remind me.
It's Tim's wife.
Twitch Sings is like when you go to a bar and see somebody doing like really awful karaoke. Like, does that like morbid curiosity in a way? And some people some people are phenomenal, but they have like the duet option.
We went to Georgie's that one night.
Yeah.
Watched people do karaoke.
Now, see, Georgie's,
that's the best time.
And a lot of people aren't going to get this, but Georgie's in Asbury Park. Everybody there wants to be a diva.
Yeah.
So they're phenomenal. You get people going operatic.
Georgie's is a Asbury Park, New Jersey bar where they do karaoke.
Yeah. But
she was there.
Yeah, it's
not
like going to a regular karaoke bar where people sing like "She fucking hates me," like the same like or there's always Evanescence. At least 4 or 5 different people doing Evanescence. Somebody
Imagine
fucking
Dragons.
hates me. Yeah.
No, that's at anime conventions, because I like to hit up the karaoke at anime conventions specifically.
I have never been to an anime convention.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I thought, no, you were at Anime Next.
No, I wasn't.
You never went?
Nope.
I'm pretty sure you were.
No, I know I wasn't.
Oh.
I've only been to 2 Comic-Cons, too.
Dude, you gotta go to Anime Next.
You gotta
it's
pay
your
for
paradise.
me. I know.
The karaoke at the anime conventions, like, when the people are doing the anime songs, but what was the one that we went to?
So funny, dude. So ridiculous.
What was the one anime
I think
convention?
you were sending me videos of like Corey watching hentai on the big screen. He's like, yeah.
Did to you too.
Yeah. So where was that? That was in DC. What was that called?
That was Otakon.
We went to that one hentai panel that ended up becoming a shame fest.
Oh, it wasn't a hentai panel.
That was
a waifu
yeah,
panel.
know your waifu, but the girl was just shaming us.
She was like, you cannot waifu underage characters. You cannot waifu blah, 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 blah. She was like going...
We got up in the middle of it, not because we agreed with a lot of the sentiment, but it was like...
Nice.
It was essentially, we got entrapped into, like, thinking it was like, oh, cute, like, talking about, like, how to make your ideal waifu.
And how you, like, can't mistreat the fictional characters.
It became a soapbox more than
a
person
that
you
could
hang out with.
It was crazy. No, this was crazy.
I think it was Castle Point Anime Convention was the one that we went to where, like, every other song was an Imagine Dragons song they were singing. Mm-hmm. I'm like, sing a fucking anime song at the anime convention. And the girl kept going up and singing Imagine Dragons.
Yeah, it was interesting. I sang Kinky Cat by Steven Universe. That shit.
To a resounding thud.
Yeah, nobody really clapped or anything.
I wish you guys watched more anime. We can do like anime podcasts, but you're slacking.
I don't have the time.
I keep telling him I want to do a YouTube channel of like me and him just get absolutely hammered and just play like an old school Nintendo game.
Yeah.
You should do it.
Just like
a blast.
Drunk Tendo.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or like Sega or something, you know, just.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say because you see a lot of drunk and again it's kind of dubious. You're not sure how like effed up they really are, but you see a lot of videos where like we're getting drunk tonight and we're playing so and so game, and
I know you'll be able to tell when I'm drunk.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'm like way too offending to do that.
So
drunk.
I'm blank and just edit it.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole video would be. It's like
Yeah,
beep, 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 beep.
Well, one time I was like recording myself playing Overwatch, and I'm not gonna say what I was like doing, but I had to like edit every like 3 minutes. And I was like, what the fuck?
I remember
that. Why do I even do this?
Yeah, I won't stream anymore because like I think it was Blood. I tried to remember the name before and I had a massive brain fart. We tried streaming Bloodstained when it first came out.
It was just boring to watch.
I loved it, but like about 20 minutes in, I was like, I don't want to entertain anybody anymore, and I was just like talking to myself and like mumbling and like cursing and getting like probably borderline racist and offensive, like just saying stuff. Like I was like, no, we can't stream this anymore.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't entertain anybody while I'm trying to play a game.
Footage too.
Yeah.
I had to reset my computer.
But.
And Twitch is like, fucking bans people for the dumbest shit now.
I mean, they have to. I don't.
Yeah, but some of this stuff is so over the top.
Yeah.
Like what?
Like that guy, Deller, you ever hear of him? He's like a Fortnite player. He got banned.
Dale Earnhardt? What'd you say?
Deller.
They said Dale Earnhardt. Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Dale Earnhardt Sr.
He was playing Apex, and he had a girl on his team who was like talking shit to him, and he was like, "Fuck you!" Like, go make a sandwich. Complete joke.
Oh, I heard
got
about
banned.
this.
Like, dude, you can't fuck. How you gonna ban a kid for saying that? He didn't even say anything wrong.
She might have been hungry. And that's why she was playing so poorly.
People say worse to each other online.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude, that's one of the best things about the new
yeah.
Call of Duty, honestly, is that the chat is back and you can talk to the other team, and it's the funniest
lobby
fucking
chat?
thing.
Yeah.
So they added a new feature in.
My
so
friend,
say,
after
Lot of
every
them.
game, my friend goes like 3-12, 3-8, and he'll go in there and be like, "You guys should just fucking kill yourselves."
Yo.
but
It's like so old school
no,
Call
but
of
the
Duty.
new feature they added, which is my favorite thing, is that if I say I killed you,
You hear like
You
the next
can-
like
Yeah,
2
that's what they
seconds.
used
You
to
can-
have.
so if I killed you and you're watching the
You
kill
can hear
cam
it
of
for
me
a
killing you, you
second.
can say shit to me.
Mm-hmm.
But usually
Yeah,
you hear,
that's right.
usually you hear, which I know they hear me, is motherfucker. Like you hear like
Yeah.
he's over here. Like you hear him in the mic like screaming. It's
That's
so
why
funny.
I used to play, what was it, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It was like Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, I think. That was like the last time I played it besides Ghosts, and that was the best part of it. I like loved talking shit to people.
Oh yeah.
That's why I like Overwatch, because
Yeah.
it's so toxic
I
sometimes.
love watching you play
And
Overwatch.
I love being it back. I don't give a fuck.
I love watching you play Overwatch and hearing young kids talk shit to you. It's hilarious.
Nah, I
I
don't
just-
piss out young kids.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying young kids talking shit while you're playing. Like,
Dude, it pisses me
what the
off.
fuck are you doing? What the fuck? The kid, you
Why
know the
aren't you
kid's like
switching
14.
off? I'm like, dude, why aren't you switching off?
Yeah.
I
Before
cannot
roll
stand playing Overwatch anymore. I can't do it.
I
was
just
like-
did it for the first time
I was
again
like
last
on
night.
the-
So fun.
On the border of platinum for like fucking 6 months, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And every time it's like you get a Hanzo that just wants to do DPS and just try and get kills but won't play the objective.
I can only imagine. It's probably Adam.
Is it Adam?
Tim's
He
friend
has the tucked in
commented
waistband sitting that close to Joe.
that Tim
Nice.
has tucked in his waistband because he's
Tim has
sitting
to
next
tuck-
to
Yeah.
our other guest, Joe. Wanted you to read that.
Nice,
I'm not
Adam.
gonna say it out loud. Maybe.
Find out.
That sounds so sick though for the new Call of Duty. Not to cut you guys off. I apologize. That sounds so sick.
I thought you meant tucking in the waistband.
And
It's
tucking in the
sick,
waistband.
Tucking in the
dude.
waistband.
It's, like sweet too.
Yeah, you're like turning towards me, dude. It's freaking me out.
That's good body language.
White piss, dude.
I'm not pissed. I'm creeped out.
It's intimidating. Showing you who's alpha. But,
Alright, so we can start wrapping this up. It's been about an hour. We
We've
know what you're
covered one
playing
topic.
now. We
Yeah.
know what you're so excited
Hold
about.
on, we have to get
Well,
into a discussion.
That's
Oh,
what I
God.
was going to bring up. You guys have had an argument ongoing for, I'm assuming, years. And
yeah, about a
today
year.
is the day that we are going to, like, fix this and finally come to a conclusion which is best.
That I'm right.
You're not
So,
right.
You guys can bring it up.
Okay, so Tim thinks Ocarina of Time is like fucking amazing, and it's not.
And
It's
Joe
really
thinks
not.
that fucking Breath of the Wild is amazing, like most other people, and I don't understand. I'll never understand it.
What are you talking about? 99% of the internet's like, oh, I got such a
Yeah, 'cause
hard
you
on
guys
for
are all
Ocarina of
fucking-
Time.
That's just they do because it's true.
Oh, so all right. So what you just said is Joe thinks Breath of the Wild is the best game, just like everybody else, and I go, everybody else thinks Ocarina
I'm a
of
minority
Time.
when it comes to not liking Breath of the Wild. I know that.
Okay, Ocarina of Time was a great game when it came out, but if you look back and look at the game objectively, it is so stupid. It is so fucking stupid. That whole fucking game is just made to eat up your fucking time. Mm-hmm. You walk into a dungeon. Let's streamline the dungeon real quick. Let me get into this room. Let me turn and see the door locked behind me. Let me look around the room for an eye to shoot with a fucking bow. Oh, let me watch this door open. Let me find this switch to step on so I can see a door open across the fucking room. Let me take 10 minutes to open this fucking chest and be like, you see Link like, oh god, this thing looks great. I don't want to see Link being like all excited about it. I want to see what's in there. I don't want fucking like, oh, look at this. And then like 10 minutes later, you see what's in the fucking chest. Like, Link to the Past.
Yeah.
You open the chest, you immediately know what the fuck it is. You get the boss key that opens the big chest. It opens the boss room door. You immediately go to there. It's like coming downstairs for fucking Christmas and opening a present. You know where it is. You're gonna open it. You're gonna get something fucking cool out of it. You get immediate gratification. You get to go fight the boss and use that and hit it in a series of 3 times. But like, oh no, let's not stray from this formula in this open world environment. Let's keep the same fucking thing over and over again. Is there going to be a secret room to explore somewhere? No, you blow open a wall and you get what? A stick that you have to light on fire to go light a torch so you can see a door open across the room. In the beginning of the game, you can't even go to the mountain and fight any enemies. You have to go get a letter from fucking Impa so the guy can fucking let you get past the gate, and you have to be told why you want to go on this fucking adventure because, you know, you're not playing a game about adventuring because you want to go on an adventure. You have to be told why you want to. You got to be told why you have to do this game because you're a fucking sheep. Breath of the Wild is open world and lets you do everything in whatever order you want to do it in.
I was just going to say something, if I can just butt in. If you're playing Breath of the Wild linearly, it's the same thing. It's got a lot of those same elements, but obviously the open worldness of Breath of the Wild is what is the changing factor of it. But
they made Ocarina an open world that is not an open world.
Yeah,
it's not that. But that's not true. It's not that kind of game. It's not a huge open world like Breath of the Wild.
That was like an open world game.
Well, for back then.
Yeah, for back then.
And for back then, that was like revolutionary.
Yeah, for back then.
You're saying objectively, it's not still the best Zelda.
No,
it does not hold
You're
up.
saying that the reason that people
I'm not saying it's the best Zelda. I'm saying it's a good Zelda.
Nostalgia.
But you don't like
Zelda
it
would
at
not
all?
be where it is right now if it was not for that game.
No shit, and Zelda wouldn't exist if Pong didn't exist. But you don't see fucking people playing Pong esports.
That doesn't mean it's not a good game.
Yeah.
So do you
I'm not saying it's not a
good
good game.
No, you just went on the whole rant saying that the game is stupid and stuff. But in that game, you actually have a decent story, and you're going to save Zelda, and you go into dungeons that are every dungeon is different. Every room is creative, and it has different enemies. You find the weapon.
Every
to
enemy
beat,
you fight, you have to wait to fight.
Dude, so you wait 2 minutes and then you fight him. Who cares?
Why can't I
You're
walk
gonna
up?
argue that? Hold
why
on,
can't I walk up and slash
when
this
a game
guy?
actually has creativity in it, and you have to get the weapon in the dungeon and beat the boss and actually do things. When your fucking stupid game, all you do is run around a fucking field. That's all you do. Oh, a shrine. Let's beat that shrine in 5 minutes. Another one. Another one. Oh, I can't climb this mountain. I ran out of stamina. I fell and died. Oh, I can't fucking swim over here. I ran out of stamina. I drowned. That's so fucking stupid.
Because you don't start the game at full power. You gotta work and build up the fucking power. You can't
the powers are stupid. It's not even cool. It's
the
fucking
power
retarded.
is getting more stamina.
It's 2019
or more hearts.
and a fucking Link from fucking 1995 can fucking fuck this new Link up. It's stupid.
Oh my god. First off, that game...
The combat was garbage.
The combat in Ocarina of Time is the worst fucking thing.
No, it's not.
No enemy. Every enemy you encounter, you gotta sit there, garbage his shield. Wait. Oh, it's gonna attack me 30 seconds from now. Hit it. Okay, it's dead. 10 minutes fighting a fucking spider.
And you fight a spider and then one of your fucking gay weapon... Sorry. Your weapon breaks in fucking 3 hits. Cool. Oh, your Master Sword ran out of power. Cool, mine didn't.
Yeah,
mine still works.
I know, but you got told what you had to do the entire fucking game.
That's not...
Yes, it is.
That's so overdramatic how you say that.
No, it's not.
It is.
You literally... Okay, you start up the fucking game, and you're literally told why you want to go on an adventure. Oh, you want to go on an adventure? You got to go fucking slay these monsters. Why do you want to slay these monsters? Because you're playing the fucking game. That's what you want to do. That's why you're playing the game, is to go slay the fucking monsters. You want to have to, you know exactly where you have to go. The first thing you did, the first time you played that game, is go to that gate to try and go up to the mountain to try and go fight fucking monsters, because that's the first thing you want to fucking do. But no, let me give you this fucking 45-minute backstory as to why you want to go up that mountain, even though you already wanted to go up that mountain. That's the first thing you want to do. You want to go up that mountain and fight the fucking monsters. But no, let me turn around and go talk to Impa.
It doesn't make the game bad.
But that's the
it was
whole,
annoying at some time.
That's the whole game, though. The whole game is waiting. It's not a difficult game. It's the illusion of difficulty because it's waiting, because it takes up your time. Like if you're doing a puzzle in any good Zelda game, you have all the pieces and you get the satisfaction when you get that aha moment, when you already have all the pieces and you finally figure out how to assemble them. You're not walking around in fucking circles trying to look for an eyeball in the ceiling. You're not like you want to talk about enemies too? Link to the Past, bats were always at eye level. Everything always flying is at eye level. It's a good monster to fight because everything's at eye level. But there was different dimensions. You can be on second floor and still see enemies on the first floor. Bats, you gotta fly around, shoot them with a fucking slingshot, look around like an asshole looking around for a fucking bat flying around. It's a dumb fucking enemy. Those spikes on the fucking ground, the discs that spin. How many times I got blindsided out of a blind spot in the fucking screen where it just came out from behind. There's no difficulty in it. It's just the illusion of difficulty. It makes you, the only good enemy in that is the Iron Knuckle. The only enemy that gets provoked to attack you. Because you provoke it to attack you, you dodge it, and then you attack it. You don't have to sit there and just fucking wait. Like, okay. Like, that's not difficult. That's not hard. That's following a fucking pattern.
I would like to give Tim a moment to explain his side of
it.
No interruption.
No, I understand what he's saying about the waiting, but like, first of all, a lot of games have that, and yeah, Zelda went a little above and beyond sometimes with it, even though you're over exaggerating it a lot.
I'm really not.
But I didn't see anything wrong with the combat. First of all, the combat in Ocarina of Time is better than fucking Breath of the Wild. Like, I can take the Link from that game and fuck the Link from Breath of the Wild up with 5 hearts against him with 30 hearts. Because I can lock onto you, and I can actually move around, and I can dodge, and I can block. What do? Besides, you have this way you can move back and forth, and you can use a weapon that's going to break against my shield in fucking 5 swings anyway, so what are you going to do then? Press star, you go to your menu, get another thing out while I'm already hitting you 10,000 times? It's fucking stupid. In 2019, to have a shit combat like that is a joke. The Link in fucking Twilight Princess was phenomenal. He had all these moves. There was like 20 things to find to make him upgrade him with combat, move this, backflip, cut people's heads off. Nah, you have a fucking sword that's rusty and it breaks in 3 swings. Cool. And you can kind of dodge a little bit, but not really.
You do backflips
cool.
and shit.
Nice. You have a blue bomb. Nice.
The blue bomb was actually in fucking.
And what did you do for 8 hours you played? Oh, I beat 25 shrines. Cool.
And
you know what I did? I beat 3 dungeons that had all cool, unique, different bosses with different weapons.
You know what I did in 8 hours in Ocarina of Time? I finally got that letter and got to go up to the mountain and fought 2 people.
Yeah, okay, so I'll give you that. That's a flaw in the game.
Every time you go into these unique dungeons you talk about, you walk in a dungeon, you gotta watch a fucking minute preview of the fucking dungeon. Everything, you gotta watch the door close behind you. Oh! It closed behind me. You open it, you gotta watch the door open over there. Like I was just saying with all the puzzles, all the pieces aren't together. You don't get all the pieces. It's like when you finally solve the puzzle to get into the next room or the puzzle from the dungeon in Ocarina of Time, it's just, you don't get the aha moment. You get the fuck, or well shit, that's where it was. Oh, I had to fucking see this stick over there. Like it's not like it's not late. It's convoluted. The whole game is just, I'm not saying it's a terrible game. It's just fucking time wasting and just doing the same thing over and over. Repetition. It's like
do that over and over again. All you did in fucking Breath of the Wild was run around a fucking field. You guys say it's this big, giant open world game that's so cool.
Okay.
What's in the open that's so cool about it? It's just climbing mountains to get to what? Another shrine? Okay, another shrine? Another shrine? That's all this fucking game is. And it's the best game and they come out in 20 years? Are you guys out of your fucking minds?
Oh, these unique dungeons. You get these unique dungeons there's all the shrines are all unique and different things you have to do in each shrine to complete it. To get a power-up that you use to power up your character. You don't just...
It's the same power-up every single fucking time.
Yeah, but you have to distribute it like a skill point. You don't just, blow up a hole wall. I found a heart container. I get an extra heart. You got to see where you want it. Okay, I'm going to build up my stamina so I don't fall off a mountain from fucking learning out of stamina. I'm going to build up my stamina so I can swim without running out of stamina. Oh, I'm going to get all these hearts so I can actually get the Master Sword. There's a different level to it. You're building your character. The theme is getting stronger to fight Ganon. It's not just linear, just like, okay, yeah, you got to do a million different shrines, but each shrine is different. Each shrine has a different puzzle, and all the pieces are right there for you. You just have to figure out how to do it. You don't have to, no, where's this eye in the wall so I can open the fucking door to get to the next room? It's all right there in front of you. You just have to figure it out. The only problem with not figuring it out is your own ability to figure it out. Not just like stumbling upon the last piece of the puzzle you can't find. It's like doing a jigsaw puzzle and you lose the corner piece and you're like, son of a bitch, and then you find it in the next room and you're like, oh, fuck, there it is. It's not like, oh.
That's like millions of games. You have to find the right pieces to get to the next area.
Yeah, I know, but in
Ocarina... Resident Evil, how many times you have to fucking run back to your fucking dumb chest to get something to go back? Like,
yeah, it
was annoying when they made the game bad.
That's the biggest problem in video games, though, is it doesn't cater to what you want to do. It just gives you this
extra shit.
Yeah, all this bullshit to make the game longer. So you think that the game's better than it is because it took you 40 hours to beat it instead of the 20 it would need to. It's just
said. That's why I like speedruns.
It's just like I said, it's not difficult. It's just the illusion of difficulty. Mm-hmm. It's just time consuming, which makes a person think that the game is hard because it took me 45 minutes to get strong enough to beat this boss. When, like, you shouldn't have to go and grind and beat all these people and level your character up all this for fucking 45 minutes to go be strong enough to fight this boss. By the time you get to that boss, you should be strong enough to fight that boss. You shouldn't have to go backtrack and just wait for enemies to spawn to kill them to get enough fucking experience to be strong enough to fight this boss.
So I have a question. Both of you separately. What's the best Zelda game of all time?
My favorite, I think, is Twilight Princess. I think that Twilight Princess was, I think it took Ocarina of Time and made it 10 times better.
Wind Waker.
Wind Waker? Why do you think that?
Because it was like the whole thing about it, the adventure behind it. The art style was fucking awesome. The being able to have a boat and just go wherever.
I didn't play that one, so I can't comment on
it. It's great. I have the Wind Waker Wii U. It's a great game. It's fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's not like, I feel like it's the perfect balance between, like a Breath of the Wild game and like.
I'd probably appreciate Breath of the Wild more if it wasn't Zelda, but the fact that it's Zelda and like what it's just like what Zelda is, that just wasn't a Zelda game.
Because they've been doing the same fucking thing with Zelda. It's the same thing with Zelda. Every Zelda game is essentially the same mold.
So I think they put out Link to the Past. That's one that they just remade, right?
Yeah, and they did it.
And I think that's why they put it out. I'm sorry, Link's Awakening. I think that's why they redid Link's Awakening. Because for the people who love Zelda and enjoyed Breath of the Wild, but it didn't quite feel like a Zelda game, they're like, alright, let me give you a Zelda game to like make you feel better. Also, it's awesome.
I wouldn't even like bash Breath of the Wild, but the fact that people like hold it at this standard of being like the best game to come out in the last 20 years, it's like what
it is,
remotely makes it how though? Like why?
So much.
It's so different and all of it is so meaningful. It's like the Skyrim of Zelda.
I've also heard other people make the argument against it with that being the Skyrim, because we were just talking about Hyrule Legends or whatever we were talking about.
That's complete trash.
Where it's not a Zelda game. It's got a Zelda license attached to it. Yeah. Zelda characters. I've had people make the argument that Breath of the Wild is Skyrim Zelda. It's not a Zelda game. It's just it's an Elder Scrolls game with Zelda characters.
It could be anything else and not feel like, because it didn't feel 100% like Zelda all the time, even though it did call back to the old ones, which I thought was really unique of it. It was like all the old places.
Can we all agree that Skyward Sword is just a complete pile of trash?
Yeah, I just watched the speedrun on it for the first time, and I've never experienced it otherwise.
Yeah. I know your viewers will think I'm crazy, but I'll never understand the hype behind Breath of the Wild. What makes it this big, awesome game that's so much better than other games out. The game fucking robbed Horizon Zero Dawn for Game of the Year.
Horizon Zero Dawn is coming on PC soon, and I think I'm going to rebuy it for PC. Because I love that game that much. That was one of the best games of the decade. We didn't talk about that.
I honestly never played it.
I know. We need to get it. Maybe I'll just buy it on PlayStation, because I borrowed it.
You can borrow it if you want.
Yeah, maybe I will, because I played it before, but I didn't beat it.
I was trying to think of like what my top 3 games were, and that's like, I'm going to have to say God of War 3, came out in 2010. The Last of Us.
Last of Us was fucking great.
I'm calling it. I think the new one's going to be shit. I really do. I think it's going to be terrible.
Really?
I really do.
You think there's like too many hands in the pot?
They're doing.
Woking it
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna like get into the whole political shit on here, but it's gonna ruin it. And it's literally a known thing. Once you go woke, you go broke. You ruin the whole thing. They're gonna kill it.
We'll see.
Hopefully, I hope it doesn't happen, because I want it to be good. I love the first one, but I think it's going to be absolute fucking garbage.
What's the third game you were gonna say? Your top of the decade.
That's hard. I don't know.
What about you, Joe?
My top 3 of the decade?
Yeah.
No fucking clue, man.
It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
It took us a while to think. And
I feel
I'm
like
not even 100% on the answers I gave.
I
feel like
Undertale was just a
when did Destiny 1 come out?
Yeah, no, Destiny. That's it.
Destiny?
Yeah,
When did Destiny 1 come out?
2013
Definitely within that 10 years.
or 14.
I feel like that was
originally.
great because it brought.
That's a game. That game is so underrated.
It brought raids to.
I agree with that.
It brought raids to game. The thing that was previously really only in World of Warcraft that
Yeah.
majority of people just avoided like to play because they're like, I'm not that type of fucking gamer.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna play WoW. But it brought raids to like where everyone needs to work together and have a role in it and follow the role to complete it and win. And I felt like that was huge. PUBG.
People, and I'll bash it. I'll bash it too.
I mean, it was like
the game would not be where it is right now
H1N1
for that game.
Yeah, I agree.
Fortnite would not even be a game. It wasn't for PUBG.
I agree.
None of these games. Apex would be out. That game is
Fortnite
still.
wasn't even original. Originally Battle Royale. I bought it when it was
it
World.
They did it as a beta thing because they saw that PUBG was blowing up.
Well, PUBG ripped off H1N1.
But they did a better job though.
Yeah, but I mean,
true.
That's the PUBG was like, for the mainstream.
As an overall battle
Royale.
royale, I'll always go with PUBG.
I feel like
it's not my favorite, but as an overall game, with tactical skill, getting attachments, level helmets and shit, that is number 1 battle royale.
I just fidget with stuff.
Yeah, me too.
And
keeping the real shit in there.
Yeah, I think Destiny was incredible when it first came out, especially for how they like.
These are my
pretty much
favorite games of the decade, but like the best games of the decade that I felt like revolutionized shit more was definitely Destiny.
I think
PUBG.
Destiny 1 came out and it was phenomenal, and I think The Division came out and did it better than Destiny 1. I was obsessed with The Division.
The Division crashed and burned, didn't it?
Division 2, they didn't do a good job. The gameplay was awesome, but they didn't. The content.
Division 1 too wasn't huge for a long time. It didn't have lastability.
But I'm saying just the way it played, and like going to the Dark Zone and seeing. That's one thing that Destiny didn't do right, is they had the community of finding other players and playing with your friends, but like interacting with other people. Like say you're in the same lobby as me, like I can't say anything to you. I can like walk past you and I can like start to your guy and like examine you, but I can't say hi. Well, in the Division,
invite to a party and stuff.
In the Division,
there wasn't proximity chat.
Yeah, in the Division though, I can be in the Dark Zone, and I can be trying to get something, and I can see you next to me, and I even know you, and I can be like, hey, and you can turn on me and kill me and like take the shit. Like that's cool. Like I wish Destiny did that. Like added in the chat of like, hey, you got to team up or like.
Well, that was like the period of time where they kind of got rid of lobby chat and proximity chat.
Yeah, and then the Division 2, of course, they wanted to stop the toxic bullshit, so they woke. The woke thing ruins everything, and it's ruining games.
It's ruining everything.
Anybody who disagrees, sorry, is a fucking idiot.
Yeah, no, we all agree. I think that's I think people just don't talk about it enough in fear of being mobbed.
Ostracized.
Yeah, ostracized and mobbed. Like, you can't have an opinion on that.
Yeah, fuck that.
Well, anyway, the third game I was going to say that was probably the best for a decade would probably be Overwatch, because it had,
I mean, look at Apex. Apex was pretty much a combination of Overwatch and a battle royale. You know, you had your characters, your specific character select, and how everything. And I'm not gonna lie, Overwatch pretty much revolutionized esports. It did a lot for esports, and made it a lot bigger. Not that it wasn't a thing before Overwatch, but it kind of
really mainstreamed it.
Yeah, which
Overwatch
is a good and a bad thing. Once everything gets mainstreamed, then the general public has access to it, and the general public is terrible.
And even worse than the general public, it's like business people and investors get in and start effing with it because then you have to reach certain goals and do certain things.
Well, exactly. They start trying to get more.
That's the thing that
good product
that Nintendo has always done and will always do. I mean, to the best of my knowledge, is they release full games, complete full games, no patches needed day one.
Yeah.
Every single other game that comes out, you buy it. Say you go pick it up at the store, you bring it home, you throw it in your Xbox, the game's got to download.
You know it's gonna be shit.
All right,
for
and then not even just that, the game downloads. You get it. You have to get it.
You know it's gonna be shit.
You have to get a day one patch of like, okay, so you guys put this game out. I went and bought it, and I have to download an update for it to be working because you couldn't even put it. That's like Cyberpunk got delayed. And they said, we want to put out the best game we can possibly put out.
Yeah.
And like, okay, I can respect that. That's great. You're not going to stick to this deadline and put out a half-assed game where you're either going to have a huge-ass patch 2 months into it when I'm already sick of all the bullshit in it, or you're not going to have a day one patch of like 10 gigs, or it's just going to be a broken game.
Yeah.
Like, go on, take that time.
Yeah, take the extra months and make sure it's actually fun for everybody.
The biggest problem now with games, which never used to be a thing, because it used to be like how he said, like, the game came out, this is the game, take it for what it is.
Yeah.
But now they do, which PUBG pretty much started this, is they have an alpha stage.
Yep.
Here's our game. It's not done. Even though technically it kind of is done, but they'll say this is alpha stage. So, can you guys play it and let us know what you think? But pay $30. Mm-hmm. You have to pay for it still, even though it's not done. It's not a real game.
Heroes of the Storm did that.
Fortnite's technically still in beta.
Since you paid $30, you paid $30 for the game, and you play it, and something goes wrong, or you crash, or my arm isn't, it's something like a glitch. But you know it's an alpha stage though, so it's okay.
Yeah.
No, it's not okay. I fucking paid you money. It should be free. If you're gonna put an alpha stage game out, we'll try your game. It should be a free fucking download.
Okay, let's say...
And then when you're ready, you fucking charge us for a real game. Like bullshit.
Like Call of Duty came out with... They always have the alpha and the betas and stuff. And then generally they're broken. But then, everyone knows they're broken. They say it's broken. And then the game gets put out and it's still fucking broken.
Yeah.
Tarkov did the same thing. They charged $40. It's not... The game is out, but it's alpha stage. So it's like it's okay that, that's bullshit. And that people just allow it.
They can also change it as much as they want when they're in alpha and beta.
Yeah.
That's why Fortnite, I think, will always be in beta because they can put out as many changes as they want. Whereas, if you come out of that and it's full-fledged, I think there's, actual legal limits that you can put on changing the game. I don't know the specifics, but I'm pretty sure that's accurate.
Fortnite plays better on my phone than,
I found out that I can sync my phone to my Xbox controller. And I played at work all night.
What phone do you have? Android?
No, I have the iPhone.
Oh, really?
I played with my controller at work with him. He was on Xbox. And it played like I was playing on TV. And we got wins. We won, It was...
Cross-platform.
Another reason why that game is number one. Because it has everything.
The Call of Duty mobile game, not to cut off what you were just about to say, is actually pretty
No,
tight,
I
too.
played it's
prop
fun.
hunts on there and stuff. I was shocked how cool that mobile game was.
But then you get, these multi-million-dollar companies, they put out a Call of Duty every, technically they alternate, developers, but every other year you're putting out a Call of Duty. But you still they can never get launch day right. Every day, launch day, servers are down, you can't get a game.
Yeah.
You gotta wait 6 hours to be able to play the game on launch day.
Yeah.
And it's you've been doing this for years. For literal years, you're a multi-million-dollar company, and you still can't get launch day right, let alone you're going to have to put out this giant-ass patch because the game's fucking broken. And it's just...
I think there's too much pressure, and that's why I feel now that more things are being delayed, I think
I'm okay
it's
with
better.
it.
Like everybody,
Yeah, I'm okay
I
with
think
it.
they
Like,
see
it
that
needs
the
to
general
be.
public's okay with it, so now more people are gonna start doing that.
Like
already.
don't get me wrong. Like I'm like, ah shit. Like I really wanted to play Doom. Ah shit. I really wanted to play Cyberpunk. But like April to September is not. It's not
It gives
gonna
me
fucking
time to
kill
beat,
me.
It gives me
Yeah.
time to beat other games, honestly.
It's not gonna
I
kill
gotta
me,
be-
and I'd rather pick up that game and enjoy the shit out of it and play the shit out of it when I get it instead of like, oh, you know what? I'm fucking sick of this. It's bullshit. This doesn't work right.
Yeah.
And then like, oh, we released this big patch, and I'm like, fuck you, I'm done. Like No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
I picked that up when it came out. I was like, yo, this looks sick. Everybody thought it looked sick when it came out. I picked it up. I played it for like 3 days. I was like, this is a fucking hot pile of garbage. And then apparently they just like 6 months to a year ago they released that huge update, and apparently it's great. But I'm like, no, fuck
They
you,
did
I'm
a
done.
Rainbow Six though. Rainbow Six was dying
So-
really hard, and then they
Yeah.
pretty much revamped it, and now it's one of the hottest esports.
You know,
I
in
play Siege
They're-
all the time.
Yeah, people love it.
In the past, we talked about, you had it on your Instagram, the biggest upsets,
Oh, it's the biggest.
and it was
disappointment?
Anthem. Anthem is apparently
Revamping
It's
everything.
revamping. It's supposed to get this big update,
Sometimes that
which I really
saves
hope
it,
they do
sometimes that
because that
hurts.
game had such potential to be
Do you
incredible.
want to talk about a
And I really
convoluted
hope
story?
they do it, but
What was the story behind that game, Anthem?
I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Talk about a game like you were bitching about
Good
waiting.
morning, really quickly. Good morning. What are your fave games? Y'all play Roblox. Chair MVP. I don't know what any of that means, but I don't play Roblox. My nephew does.
Yeah.
Gamer Nate on YouTube. Check him out.
I do not play Roblox. I've played stupid little games because my roommate's like, yo, let's play some Roblox.
Just as a goof.
Yeah, talking about how you were saying how you hated waiting. That's all Anthem was too.
Yeah.
Man,
I hated that
Yeah,
game.
so-
I was
so
way-
The
Wait.
only
that's
reason I
Anthem.
bought that game is because of you.
Yeah.
Fucking waste my money. That was
hopefully-
a huge pile of garbage.
I wish that they would like change a lot of shit with Apex, because that game has so much potential, and
What
I
would
feel
you
like
change?
He hates the shields.
well, it's not that I hate the shields, but that game is first off the fact that you have to go in with 3 people. I don't like because what if I want to play by myself? I have to rely on 2 other teammates. You know what I mean? That like,
Yeah.
what if they're like shitty?
There's no solo.
Or like they're
option.
just like being like trolls, like like the
That's
soul.
why I feel like
or
the
even
role class
duos.
in that game is kind of fucked. Like because I'm sure each role has their own strengths that can
Yeah.
roll solo. But I feel like that was it was cool that they added roles, but it was kind of like you can't do a solo mode because of that. Unless I'm wrong.
But they have
It's not playing
like
it
sometimes
sololy.
they add in times when like, oh, here's a week of
There was-
solos.
there was
or
just
here's
a-
here's
there
a
was
week of
a-
duos. Like put it in the fucking game.
Yeah.
Like
That's
why aren't you
okay.
letting us do that?
I don't know.
Duos
So-
was great.
Yeah, and so that's
the
one
big
thing.
thing is the shields though, is that you can just recharge your shield like at least like 25%, like in I think it's like a second and a half.
Cooldowns too
So
quick?
blackout,
It's ridiculous.
like Fortnite does it good, and it's like you have the mini shields and then you have the half shields, and then it's like kind of like basic,
Yeah.
health. And blackout did it perfect when it's like
except for that
you
one
have
patch
a-
they made.
you have a gun, and then you get the attachment, and the attachment goes on the gun, and you get the extended mag, and then you get the attachments, and then you're good to go, and it's like very like kind of
Takes
fast,
long.
and it's like you had to find it, but it was like there. Apex is like you drop and then you find a gun and it's got 20 bullets next to it, and then I put 20 shots into you, but your fucking shield's too strong, so now you're still alive. Now I have no fucking gun, I have no ammo. You have a level 3, I have a level 1, so you're gonna beat me even though I'm better than you because you have more health.
Yeah.
And I have to find level 1, and then you have to find level 2 and level 3, and it's just like, dude, this is so much. This is so unnecessary for a battle royale. You're spending more time trying to just get stuff to even fight before you're even actually getting into fights.
The clips in it without an extended mag on
Yeah.
anything is way too
There's no
small to
reason
even
I
kill
should walk
somebody.
up to you when you have even not even full shields and put a fucking clip into you and load my gun while you're still walking, while your other teammates are shooting me. Because you didn't go down because my fucking gun has 5 bullets in it. While any other game you play, like Call of Duty, it's like you have 30 shots, extended mag 60 or 40 or whatever it is. But no, Apex is like 12
They've been
bullets,
complaining that since
12
it
bullets.
launched.
All right,
Enough ammo.
a level 1 mag, 14
It's
bullets.
an issue.
Still?
Level
Yeah.
2 mag, 16 bullets. Like, it's
and then
stupid.
there's snipers in
It's
there
unnecessary.
that like they don't do enough damage. Unless you get like the legendary sniper rifle, which drops from like a care package.
Yeah, I talked about this on the last podcast we had too. If I shoot you in
If
the
you
face with a fucking sniper rifle and
you
you're
kill
not
your
dead,
shield
it's
before
Why
you
is that
don't
still
even-
it's
such an
ridiculous.
issue?
Yeah. I mean, it's just.
But they don't address any of it. They never add shit to that game. And then they had at the Game Awards, like Fortnite was like, oh, we got this big Star Wars thing, and PUBG just added the map. And what did Apex do? Christmas skins.
Yeah.
Like, cool. Thanks. That's what you guys added. Nothing with the content. Nothing to change the game.
Maybe they just don't have enough of a team. Maybe it was like too much too soon for them.
It's EA.
No, fuck that. That's fucking.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they're backed by so much
They're
fucking
backed
shit.
by. They're backed by EA. EA just like everything, dude. They how much money they make on fucking loot crates and shit.
Yeah, EA's rough.
You can't throw like an extra
EA
couple
just
bucks
announced
into
The Sims 5, not to go all girl on everybody, but EA just announced The Sims 5, and it's like, you're still putting out shit for The Sims 4, like, right now. Like, why are you putting out a new one?
Because EA is just money hungry.
Yeah.
They've always been with
I'll
everything.
Look
at all of the sports games that come out every year
Yeah.
that nothing changes.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Another problem with Apex, though, which I think is the biggest issue, is if you're, like, having a battle and you're far away, so you're, like, having a, you know what I mean, like, sniping at each other, and I'm with him, say, and the guy on the right, like, his shield breaks. So instead of me saying to him, like, oh, like, his shield's gone, he's one shot behind the thing, charge him, it's like,
You're basically
2 seconds later, back to fucking full health. It's like, you can't even make power plays with it because you just get your shield back.
You're not fighting against their shield, you're just trying to get rid of all of their health stuff before you can even rush
it's
them.
like, and you're dying to people not because they're better than you, just because they have
more shit.
It's like, that I don't like that. And that's such an easy fix, but they haven't addressed it, so that's why that game is going downhill.
Yeah.
I still love that game, though. I'm
curious, what is your opinion on Overwatch 2?
I don't really care about it that much, but I'm open to it. I believe that it's just like the same game, but they're adding different stuff. I think that. I hope it's not going to be like $60 because I know that they said specifically, even if you don't buy the new game, even if you don't buy the new game, you still have all the maps and characters that are going to come out if you have the first Overwatch. Yeah. So I really think it's more of just like an extension of the story.
Do you agree that they should just make it a DLC?
Yeah, 100%.
Because
I don't know why.
What they're going to do is what they're going to do. First off, they got bashed for banning that dude for that whole esports thing, remember?
Oh,
that China
Hong
shit.
Kong.
Mm-hmm. So they got bashed for that and lost a lot of players in every game. So what they did, what they do a week later, they released Here's Overwatch 2, and everyone got, oh my god.
Well, that was the huge thing. Like everybody was so, like expecting so much to happen at BlizzCon, like protesters, things like that, and then they had a very sincere apology from the president of Blizzard. Like they really did have a really sincere apology that I truly believed in, and then I think everybody forgave them, and now they don't care.
Well, I mean, that's anything that happens. It's like, because nowadays shit's happening one after another. It's like, all right, well, who really remembers that dude getting banned for saying that he's staying with Hong Kong because we just bombed Iraq? Like, seriously, like no one's going to be like, oh yeah, fuck Blizzard. Because
if you're gonna make an actual Overwatch 2, you should either so you could have the same players in it with all different abilities and somewhat of the old stuff, but like add all new things that they do. So add the old players plus new ones.
You hate Overwatch anyways.
Well, I'm just over it. I don't actually hate the game. Or make an entire brand new Overwatch 2 with every character different with all new ability. That's a new game.
Well,
but you're not. They're just adding you're just adding maps and a campaign
too, because there's so much lore that they haven't released about some of the characters. I don't know why they're doing Overwatch 2 at all. I think it's very silly. Yeah. It just makes no sense.
It's a cash grab.
Yeah.
It's the biggest cash grab, and people will fucking suck it off.
And Overwatch League is severely suffering.
I haven't played since they did the role locking, because I
don't mind the role locking. I really don't.
I
don't think it helps much though.
It's because I just get stuck with 2 DPS and I'm out DPSing them with a healer. Like that should never happen. Like I should never even remotely have even close to the DPS as a healer. So it's like my friend constantly gets gold damage as Zarya, but he's great with her, but it's like I cannot get into a game unless I'm a healer or a tank, and I can actually play DP. Before role locking, I was just a floater. I was like whatever the team really. I would be the last person to lock in.
Flex.
Yeah,
whatever, floater, flex, whatever. But it was just, I would just, whatever the team needs. And then, like, once in a while, get to be a DPS because people would pick healer and tank. And it was, like, it was great. But now it's just, like...
Yeah, you're forced into a role that might not necessarily fit the team at the time.
Yeah.
But I think it does make people stay in their lane a little bit.
They just want to get rid of the meta.
I played last night on the arcade with the original quick play with no roll lock. And our whole team ended up being DPS. And I was like, whatever, too. I'm going to be Mei then. Like, fuck this. And then I just played as Mei. But I think that was such a bad issue where, okay, now you might have 2 shitty DPS, but it's better than having 4 shitty DPS. And then you can't even be a healer or an efficient healer or a tank because you're totally outnumbered by your shitty fucking team that is going to scatter like paint.
That's really why I stopped playing the game, though. It's just shitty
I just
games.
got over it. Other games came out that I was interested in.
I was
when
still
it first
playing
came
it.
out, I loved it.
I still play it. I like it.
I was still playing it like 2-3 months ago. And, like, it's just, like, the game is just so fucking toxic and just, like...
Super toxic.
Nobody ever wants to play as a team. Everyone just wants to do their own fucking thing.
I agree with that as well. You just,
and,
like, have to play with friends.
Yeah. And if you do have a healer, they're already partnered up with someone, they're just going to stick with that person the whole fucking time. So
I have the list of, like, games coming out, and there's, like, nothing multiplayer coming out at all besides Doom.
Cool, you just keep playing with yourself.
Nice.
I think because all the multiplayer games are, like, just kind of ongoing.
What I'm looking forward to, really, is the Call of Duty Battle Royale is, like...
It hasn't even officially been announced.
And Doom, I mean, I know I'm alone on this, but I thought Doom, the one that came out like 2 years ago with the multiplayer, I was obsessed. Like,
that game was fucking great, though.
It was.
I heard the multiplayer.
I was more into that than I was Halo, and I'm obviously a Halo fanatic.
He's a pro player.
Yeah. Very underrated game, but the new one, apparently the PvP is like not even in it, really.
Maybe they'll release it later.
They're gonna do like a soldier versus like demon. So like, say like we went to a match and you were a demon, which is a cool concept. So you have to like take out like 5 of us. We try to take you out, but like they got rid of the whole like player up as player like soldier on soldier, which I think is really stupid. Hopefully they add it in later, but the hype for me went down. Right, the hype went down a lot after that. But the campaign looks incredible.
Of course it does.
Yeah, but it always is, obviously.
So, to wrap up this podcast, I do have 2 questions that I ask everybody. You can say yours again because I don't remember what you said. It might have changed. But what is your favorite game of all time? And I'll tell you the second question. But Tim can go first, and then you can go, Joe.
I think I said Halo 1 last time.
Did you say Halo 1 is your favorite
pretty much my favorite shooter. Just mindless fun with friends on a campaign. Yeah.
What's your favorite game
Super
of all time?
Mario World.
I think Super Mario World.
Yeah.
I think as the overall best game ever made ever, I think Super Mario World is number 1.
Pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I can agree with
that.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
That or 3. It's kind of like...
Nah, World fucking shits on 3.
My second question is, have you ever heard of the game Blazing Dragons?
No.
I might have heard of it. I've never played it.
It's like a point-and-click game that came out on PlayStation 1.
No.
No one has. Yeah. No one has.
PlayStation 1, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it just...
I have it up there, but nobody's...
We'll have to do one time and talk about underrated games that are like...
Yo, best system ever, Dreamcast. You could just burn every game.
Yeah.
I wasn't into Dreamcast. Like, that game, Brute Force for Xbox, the original, that's like one of the best games, and that nothing had the company gets one under.
Oddworld was such a great game, too.
Oddworld was a great game.
I'm pretty sure a new one, apparently, I heard is like being developed.
I think they just redid the last one that came out, Stranger's Wrath.
They redid the first one, like, for
Yeah, I
Xbox
have it on
too.
PlayStation.
I actually just bought that for PS1.
Oddworld's great.
What was another one? Very underrated one. The Suffering.
Never heard of it.
That was PS2 and Xbox original. You ever played that? The Suffering?
No.
That was huge when it came out.
I played this game and this game Advent Rising that came out on Xbox towards the end of original Xbox run, and it was awesome. I thought it was awesome at the time. I haven't played it since. I still have it. And there was like a great story behind it, and the shooting was alright and everything, and it was supposed to be like a huge game, and no one ever played it, and it wasn't a bad game. I'm actually going to do a playthrough of that probably soon.
What's the RPG game you always say is very good? I think it's for GameCube. Something Trigger.
Chrono Trigger?
Chrono Trigger?
Is that GameCube?
That's SNES.
You said it was like
Super Nintendo. That's one of the greatest games ever made. Yeah.
I'll have to get into it.
It looks exactly like Dragon Ball.
It's better than Final Fantasy storyline.
Yeah, Far and Beyond. It's one of those games too. You can go from point A to point B and beat the game as it is, and it's where the side quests don't seem superfluous. They actually seem like they fit into it. You can get so many different endings for the game just by the different routes you take. Super Nintendo.
So it's gonna be hard to find, probably.
No,
I think they remade it or something.
They've remade it a couple times where
it's not the same. 'Cause I know Final Fantasy VI has all these versions.
There's
People say don't buy this version, don't buy that version.
Yeah, they do say that.
If you can, because you can get your hands on the original one for if you actually got the SNES fairly cheap, you can play
tell me that's all
with the same artist.
Yeah,
that's literally fucking Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, it's on a mini console.
Oh
play the original one if you can. There's a couple different remakes, and I can't really attest to them, but a lot of them get the battle and the text wrong. Some of them add new elements to the game that forcibly tie it. There was a sequel called Chrono Cross for PlayStation, which is I have my opinions about it. It's not the greatest. To me, it's talk about how Breath of the Wild's not really a Zelda game. Chrono Cross wasn't really a Chrono Trigger game. It was just people want a sequel to this, so they took a game that already existed pretty much, an idea, and slapped Chrono Trigger loosely threaded characters into it. Yeah, you have to try it. It's amazing. I've never met anybody that's ever had a problem with it.
I remember Final Fantasy VI, I had an issue finding it because everyone's like, "Oh, play the original version," and then I got the original version, and the battery's fucked up.
Yeah.
And then you fixed it, and then I played for 20 hours, and then now it doesn't load again. So it's like I'm not gonna do that again.
That's what happened to me. Right
it
after
sucked.
the alpha scene, my game wouldn't save. Which is weird because it was that an emulator though, or was it?
That was on the mini. And it was on the mini. Something happened. What I think happened, save it, so I stopped playing it and I just watched a speedrun. What I think happened, and I don't think anybody on here cares about this. I think rather than us starting the game up from a save point, we started up from a save state.
And then
went over and then saved it, and it accidentally. Because that happened with Secret of Mana when I played it. Yeah, it's either way. But yeah, Chrono Trigger, phenomenal game. Check that one out.
Right. If you don't mind, I want to sign out of the podcast and then we can still talk. But thank you everybody for listening. This has been Real People Gaming. Again, my name is Jen Yuchin.
I'm Dustin.
Tim.
I'm Joe.
And I'll put everything in links in whatever description if you're seeing this, listening to it, watching it. Thank you so much.